Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 9th through the 15th. And during that time, we first have the waning crescent moon, and that is a time of calm and stability when we're looking around saying, okay, what worked with the last cycle? What didn't work? What adjustments do we need to make? Maybe we'll restart a thing for the new cycle, or maybe things were successful and we're kind of done working on that, and we'll think of new things that we want to do. So, because that new moon does approach on the 12th or the 13th, depending on where you are. And of course, new moons are a time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to, try a new skill, to work on new things that we want to do, whether they be inner or outer projects, whatever that might be. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading are that conclusions are within reach. All right, let's see what the Virgo Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot cards, usually I have a fun weekly reminder, but this week I need your help on something. I am thinking about doing the occasional live stream, and this might start in a couple of months, kind of when summer weather dies off and it's not as nice outside and I'm just in more, that I might want to do live streams, maybe every couple of weeks or so. And this would be where I would just do live readings. With you guys, just maybe one or two cards if you ask a question, that sort of thing. But what I'm trying to figure out, and could you help me with this, is by typing your preference for the day of week and maybe the time of day. So that way I can just get an idea of where everybody is. I know you guys are probably all in different time zones, but that way I would know that, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern is a great time for everybody, or Wednesday at noon, so just let me know if there's a day or time and a time of day that you prefer, or also maybe just what your time zone is. But if you could please drop that in the comments, that would be so great. It'll help me in the planning stages of, trying to plan when I can do those live streams for you guys. But that is my fun thing for the week for me, is that you can help me a little bit. So thank you in advance. All right, let's get into this reading. We've got Virgo, August 9th through the 15th. Conclusions are within reach. Your present energy right now is the Seven of Cups. So conclusions are within reach, and it looks like it's going to involve some decision making where, you've got a lot of choices to make. I say choice is a convenience, or not a convenience, a luxury is the word. When you have a lot of choices to make, that's great. It's better than having a few choices to make, or two, right? So make sure that you're using those wisely and making the best choices for you, for you, for your life, for your goals, for your long-term goals. But you've got a lot of choices going on. And again, conclusions are within reach. Your current situation is the Eight of Cups. So you're moving forward and kind of seeking out new things. And maybe that's why you're making these new decisions. You could be that, life's going okay, life's good, but what else is out there, right? What else is out there in the way of hobbies, or career choices, or relationship choices, or friendships, that sort of thing. So there could be something that you feel like you're pretty settled and you're ready to seek out, and maybe just explore life a little bit more. Just be a little bit more adventurous about things. At the root of your situation is the Two of Wands here. So you're definitely thinking about your future. Maybe you're realizing something about your current situation. Sometimes this could just be out of boredom. Like you're like, I'm good, but I'm kind of bored. I know many people are making the decision to, just like do less social media. It's going to open up time for you. And what did we used to do with that time? As someone from the age group, from the pre-internet age group, we used to read books. We used to go to longer dinners with friends. I feel like we don't do that as much anymore. Just really linger over our food and discuss and have a good time with, groups of friends. All those things that maybe, so what is it, what is it that you want to explore? Maybe, hiking, maybe just exploring being in nature a little bit more. So think about what that is. Again, it looks like you're in that exploratory area and making decisions about that. And again, it could, for some of you, it could be boredom. It could be some other catalyst that has come up for you that's made you decide you want to live your life in a little bit of a different way. So you're just in exploring mode and trying to figure out what that might be for you. In your recent past is the Eight of Swords here. So now we've got two eights on the table. So you're feeling a little bit stuck. Okay, so and again, is this boredom for you? I'm getting that feeling. Um, for some of you, it is. You're just, it's like life's kind of just flatlined. You're like, okay, well, I get up, I go to work, I do this thing, I did. What are you bored about? What is it that you want to take on? What is it that you want to explore? What seems interesting? Or there's some interests that are out there that you've maybe thought about in the past and just haven't taken the time to do. So, again, lots of decisions and choices for you to make. Figure out what those are and then go do them. Right? What's on your mind this week is enjoying the fruits of your labor. So, and it could be that what all work and no play makes Jack a very dull boy. Is that what the from The Shining? I remember him typing that on that typewriter. Well, how can you enjoy the fruits of your labor a little bit more? And hopefully, it isn't sitting around scrolling on the internet, right? And a lot of people, again, where I just feel the need to say this, maybe this is just for someone specifically, is it's okay to put that phone down, put it aside, put it in a box, let it go, turn the volume down. It's fine. It's fine to be unreachable for a little bit while you paint a painting or sculpt something in clay or just do something creative and fun for you. But figure out what that is for yourself, Virgo. And again, conclusions are within reach. You might have to try a few things until you find the thing that's like, oh, this is kind of fun. So, what is just ahead of you this week is the Page of Cups. So, look at you enjoying yourself and having a sense of humor. I mean, the Page of Cups is kind of our joker of the deck here. And ahead of you is humor and good humor and enjoying yourself, laughter. Maybe you're going to explore something by a comedy club. That's something we have a comedy club near us, and we probably go there a couple times a year. We probably should go more because when we laugh so hard, we have so much fun. Just going and seeing a live comic, even if it's someone we've never heard of before, I guarantee you there's talent out there, and it is so much fun to I feel like comedy really gets you in the moment. You're laughing and you just kind of the rest of the world really melts away. It's just one of those activities that's fun to laugh that hard. So or find your friends that make you laugh as well. In your advice position here, is to buckle down here with this eight. Look, we've got three eights on the table now. Buckle down with this eight and get to work on, and probably get to work on finding whatever this is for yourself. Conclusions are within reach, but you're going to have to make decisions and probably try things. This eight is also about being in the moment and really, like I said with the comedy club, that the whole world melts around you when you're doing something that you love to do or that you really, really enjoy. It does. The rest of the world just melts away, and you have not a care in the world. You're just focused on that thing that you're enjoying. So enjoy a little bit, even if it's something that feels like a little more work than usual. What is beyond your control is the King of Cups. So beyond your control, that you're feeling also very emotionally balanced. You understand your emotions. You're in complete control of your emotions, but you also, because it's a king, you can see the emotions of people around you and understand kind of where everyone's going through, and that's a nice little place to be, even if it's just for a week. But you're in a place where you can kind of see how things are affecting people around you, and that's a nice way to be as well. All right, what is your secret desire or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Page of Swords. Look, two pages. So this page is about communicating in a new way, and thinking in a new way also. So are you trying to avoid that, or is that your secret desire? And this would be, again, that you're going to get out and do new things, have a new way of thinking. I use that comedy club as an example. That could be something that and it could be anything like this that you just never done before. Like, that's just go try it, do the new thing, have that idea to try that new thing. Or are you trying to avoid that? But when you're making these decisions, think about that. That's sometimes it's just about the novel thing that you've never tried to do before. I know I don't know, there's just so many different things around that you could try to do if you're feeling a little bit bored, right? In your outcome position is also the Queen of Swords. So you're going to be thinking and speaking very clearly. The Queen of Swords does not mince words. She's very logical and would definitely make the logical decision on the thing to do. She would say, well, obviously, logically, if I'm going to a comedy club, it's going to be this comedian because, that's kind of Queen of Swords. And that's kind of where you are. And that's very Virgo of you, to make decisions based on past information. But that's kind of where you end up, is just really speaking clearly and thinking clearly about the thing that you want to do. So whatever conclusions this is and whatever this first is, I said that boredom could be it. It might be different for different Virgos, of course, but it seems like there is some issue. It's there. You're just trying to make the right decisions in order to resolve that. So hopefully that comes for you this week. It looks like you end up at least clear headed by the end of the week. What is hidden from you, Virgo, at the bottom of the deck is a great place for this card, because this is Five of Cups is kind of about grief and sadness, and you're not dealing with that this week. You're not dealing with that. So this could be you're trying to pull yourself up out of that. Maybe it was something that you have felt, or it's kind of there to be lingering, or there's something that could remind you of something. But it looks like you're trying to make the good, positive choices to move forward, enjoy yourself a little bit more. But it might be a little bit of work to find that thing for you, Virgo. So if it's not the first thing you try again, try something else. When I was saying that, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. But while I was saying that, I was thinking, I said comedy club as an example, but it could be, maybe it's taking a pottery class. Maybe it is taking a painting class. My husband and I, we haven't done it yet, but have you ever seen those wine tasting where you do paintings? We haven't done that, but that seems like a fun thing to maybe do. Just look around in your community and find the things that are, especially if you're bored, sitting around on a Tuesday night, like, what are we going to do tonight? Find those things that are fun to do, which is hard. It's harder the older you get, by the way. All right. Let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Says to be decisive. Well, Queen of Swords, and be decisive when you're making those decisions. Don't let those decisions linger around, for too long, so that you're being wishy-washy about it, right? Just make a decision and do it. It may be new. Again, have fun doing whatever it is. But be decisive, make that decision and go get on it. If it's not the thing, you're going to know pretty quick and you'll try something else. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care? Self-care for Virgo this week. And the card that you get here is the card called Calm. A breakdown is often followed by a breakthrough. Remain calm. A breakdown, look at these two kind of, we've got this card of grief here and this, be feeling a little bit stuck. So sometimes when we do have a breakdown like that and we're just like, oh, so frustrated because, again, I'm using, in your case, boredom. It's followed by a breakthrough, because you do have to make new decisions, try new things, and get out there. And again, conclusions are within reach. So, Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know. Are you at a place where you're bored? Was it something else, that's going on that you needed these conclusions to come without? But it looks like ideas and keeping your sense of humor and your emotional stability is a really good way to go about it. So I do wish you the best of luck. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is a great way for you to find me next week, or you are welcome to come back and let's see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Virgo. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.